They're in the gate. And they're off. Sakura Flavor is out alertly. In the center of the race course, here's Chrome Dessert and Star of the Night in the red colors in between up to take the lead. So it's Star of the Night, the narrow leader, headed now by Happy Happy, and Chrome Dessert is outside of them, taking second. Adeli is fourth and a little eager in the early stages, 3 lengths off the lead. Then Den of Iniquity racing on the inside of Sakura Flavor, and Bolts Broad is at the back, 7 lengths off the pacemaker, Happy Happy, who takes him around the first turn, leading by a length and a half. Chrome Dessert and Star of the Night are second and third. That pair followed at the rail by Den of Iniquity, who's racing 4 lengths off the lead as they swing on to the backstretch. Adeli is just outside of that rival. At the back of the field, Sakura Flavor and Bolts Broad. Down the backstretch, and it's Antonio Fresu and Happy Happy, posed on the front end. Chrome Dessert is in second, and down at the rails, Star of the Night still third with less than a half mile to go. Adeli Fort, Den of Iniquity is down at the rail, just 3.5 or so off the lead. Sakura Flavor second to last, and Bolts Broad. There hasn't been any change to the running order, with Happy Happy still in charge. Has it by 2. Star of the Night now angles out to challenge, and there's Star of the Night taking the second spot. Chrome Dessert is weakening. Down on the inside, Den of Iniquity with Adeli, and Bolts Broad saving ground in the green. They're at the top of the stretch, and Star of the Night has emerged with the lead. Opens up 2 lengths now. Den of Iniquity and Bolts Broad are chasing as Happy Happy tires in the final furlong. It's Star of the Night by 3 lengths close to home over Den of Iniquity, and it will be Star of the Night and Juan Hernandez, a formful start to the program. Den of Iniquity completes the exacta. Bolts Broad third in front of Happy Happy and Sakura Flavor. Good Juju to the outside. And they're off. Smuggler's Run is going out for the early lead. Santos to Wilson now called on and responds by taking over. So it's Santos to Wilson opening up a length and a half. Smuggler's Run gets a good trip in second. He's followed at the rail by Nauvoo, a joint third. Established in the center of the track, now takes that third spot. Quick finish between them, and Good Juju is 4 lengths off the lead. Santos to Wilson with a half mile to run, leads by a half length to Smuggler's Run in second. Then Established Clear Cut third. Another 2 back to Quick Finish in between horses fourth. Followed by Good Juju and Nauvoo, now 7 lengths off the lead with less than 3/8 to run. Santos to Wilson and Smuggler's Run are head and head. A length and a half Established, hard-ridden third. Then Good Juju fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. Followed by Quick Finish. They're a quarter of a mile from home. Smuggler's Run, Santos to Wilson continue to do battle. Santos to Wilson and Smuggler's Run past the 8th pole, with Smuggler's Run overhauling Santos to Wilson. 3 more to Good Juju, and then Established. A 16th to run, and it's Smuggler's Run and Ramon Vasquez home free. Smuggler's Run, a good trip to victory, wins by 2.5 lengths. Santos to Wilson held off Good Juju, then Established. They're in the gate. And they're off. Brazen Touch and Sarande on the outside are showing good speed. Satoshi is now rushed up. Down at the rails, Smiling Amy is pretty quick. And Smiling Amy now vying for the lead as Sand to Sea takes second. Satoshi is third, just a half length off the top pair. Then Brazen Touch in fourth, followed by Sarande, 4 lengths off the leader. Take Care of Me is next, another 2 lengths back to The Music We Make and Dusty Springfield Trails. Into the far turn, it's Smiling Amy leading by a neck, pressed by Sand to Sea, with Satoshi outside of that pair. Then it's Sarande, followed by Brazen Touch at the rail, fifth, but just 3 lengths off the lead. Dusty Springfield is starting to pick it up. The gray on the inside of Take Care of Me as they pass the quarter pole and turn for home. Satoshi on the outside. Sarande running a big race in the center of the course. Santa Sea is down at the rail. They're in the final furlong. And here's Sarande on the outside looking for the lead, battling with Satoshi. Far outside, Dusty Springfield is starting to close ground. It is Sarande close to home. And Sarande and Umberto Rispoli win it going away. Santa Sea was second. Photo for third between Satoshi and Grayson Touch. Dusty Springfield was fifth.
Out.
It sure does, but I think most of the betting action will be on number 5, Practical Move, Pete. The winner of the San Diego Derby. Of course, the connections were disappointed when he had to scratch leading.
Today, named for GMP Nutrition Enterprises Incorporated, celebrating their 10-year anniversary, and a bunch of people flew in for this event. We're happy to have you here and wish you continued success. Bluegrass Rider will be the last one to load. They're in the gate, and they're off. Memes is going to the front. Montana has speed. Buffett bobbled just slightly right after the break and has recovered and to go right after the leaders. Bendetti Joe in the center of the track caught 4 wide into the first turn, but up and on the pace as Cryptoholic scoots through along the inside to take command. So it's Cryptoholic to set the pace. Memes will track a length and a half back second. Then Buffett and Bendetti Joe right together with a 3-wide Bluegrass Rider, 3.5 off the lead. Montana second to last, and Whiskey Vision trails. Down the back stretch, Cryptoholic 2.5. Memes in second with 5/8 of a mile to go. At the rail, Buffett, Bluegrass Rider inching up on the far outside, and Bendetti Joe in between, now up to take second. Lots of action in the opening furlongs as Cryptoholic leads narrowly. Memes is coming after him now and putting the pressure on with a half-mile left to travel. 3/4 Bendetti Joe in third. Then Buffett fourth. Bluegrass Rider is fifth now, 4 lengths off the lead. Montana and Whiskey Vision. Midway on the far turn, and Memes is back in front. Memes leads it by a head. Cryptoholic second, Bendetti Joe outside of them in third, 3 lengths clear of Montana, now fourth, 1/4 of a mile to go. And it's Memes, Bendetti Joe on the outside, moves to challenge. These two arrive at the 8th pole, and Bendetti Joe set down by Diego Herrera, opens up 3 just like that. Montana in the center of the track trying to get into second, but Bendetti Joe is long gone. Bendetti Joe overwhelms the competition to win by close to 5 lengths. Montana second, Cryptoholic third in front of Memes and Bluegrass Rider. Stressed will be the last one. They're in the gate. And they're off. Stressed is out very quickly. Benedict Canyon has good early speed. Carmen Miranda joins the fray. They are followed on the inside by Wet My Beak, who's a joint fourth. Bella D is next, and M is for Magic is the trailer. Down the back stretch, and Stressed gets a relatively easy lead, just under a length. Carmen Miranda in second, followed by Benedict Canyon. Down at the rail, Wet My Beak in the Purple Silks fourth, 4 lengths off the leader. They're followed by Bella D in between horses, and M is for Magic inches up outside of that pair. 4 lengths covers the field behind Stressed, who lets it out a notch and leads it by 2 over Carmen Miranda. Benedict Canyon on the outside, still in third. M is for Magic takes fourth. Wet My Beak is fifth, 3.5 lengths off the lead, saving ground along the inside, and Bella D trails. They're at the top of the stretch, and it's still Stressed in front. Benedict Canyon on the outside. In between them, Carmen Miranda. M is for Magic in the center of the course. Benedict Canyon now lengthening stride and taking the lead with a 16th to go. And it's Benedict Canyon to win it decisively. Wins it by about 2.5. Tight photo for second. Carmen Miranda and an oncoming Wet My Beak. Then M is for Magic. They're in the gate. And they're off. Don't test your luck out quickly. Noble Union. Here's American Living hustled up. And so it will be Noble Union and American Living sprinting pretty quickly into the first turn. Just behind them, Don't Test Your Luck is third, racing a bit off the rail with Quincy right next to him. Accelerate is second to last, and Lens Luck at the back of the field. 6 furlongs to run, and the lead belongs to American Living, who's sent out to a 3-length advantage. Noble Union now just sitting comfortably in second under a nice long hold. Another 3 lengths back to Don't Test Your Luck and Quincy side by side. A gap of 6 to Lens Luck and Accelerate. They're past the half-mile pole, and it's American Living leading it by 2.5 lengths to Noble Union in second. At the rail, Don't Test Your Luck, 3 off the pace in third, coming to the 3/8 pole. Quincy has lost a little bit of ground, another 2 back to Lens Luck and a distance to Accelerate. American Living in front, and now Noble Union is coming after him. And here's Noble Union up to take the lead very willingly, putting a length on American Living. Another 3, Lens Luck is rallying in between rivals. Don't Test Your Luck outside of him. Lens Luck coming after Noble Union. Noble Union the leader. Lens Luck a length and a half back, closing the ground with each and every stride. And Don't Test Your Luck is still 3 lengths back in third. They're coming to the 16th pole, and Lens Luck and Noble Union hook up for the final 16th. Lens Luck, Noble Union, Lens Luck. Photo finish. Noble Union, ultra game. Lens Luck right there with him. It's close between those two. Don't Test Your Luck and Quincy. Very close photo. Princess. They're in the gate. And they're off. Unwritten Code is sent out for the early lead. Palio's Princess is showing some speed. Here's Yo-Yo Mama joining the fray, and Yo-Yo Mama is now on even terms with the pacemaker. Miss O'Brien is racing in fourth, followed by Spoiled Rotten and Don't You Forget, then Queen of Pompeii and Big Celebration trails. Down the back stretch, and it's Unwritten Code on the outside, and Yo-Yo Mama narrowly in front. 3 more Palio's Princess in third, followed by Miss O'Brien. Spoiled Rotten is next. Then comes Queen of Pompeii moving up in between horses. Don't You Forget at the rail. And 4 more to Big Celebration. Yo-Yo Mama, Palio's Princess on the outside, Unwritten Code between them. Miss O'Brien launches a 4-wide bid. Spoiled Rotten even wider, and Queen of Pompeii finding a seam, 1 from the outside. At the rail, Don't You Forget was stopped cold. Coming to the 16th pole, Palio's Princess, Queen of Pompeii are head and head. Here's Big Celebration rallying into third late. It's a close photo coming that goes to Palio's Princess by a nose. Queen of Pompeii second. And then it was a battle for third between Don't You Forget and Big Celebration. Waiting on Tripoli. And they're off. Newgrange is sent pretty hard for the lead. Tripoli also aggressively ridden, and Practical Move in between them third. American Admiral is at the back of the field. As they move into the clubhouse turn, it's Tripoli on the outside just in front. Newgrange ahead away second, and Practical Move is kept in the clear third, but just a length off the top 2. Another 3 lengths back to American Admiral. They swing on to the backstretch, and it's New Grange, now in front of Tripoli by a neck. 2 more lengths to Practical Move in third, and another 3 to American Admiral, less than 5 furlongs to travel, and it's New Grange and Edwin Maldonado leading it by a head. Tripoli and Tiago Pereira trying to match stride second. Practical Move passes the half-mile pole, a length and a half off them in third. An American Admiral is guided to the center of the racetrack, 4 lengths off the lead, held by New Grange. New Grange at the 3/8 pole, leads still by a head to Tripoli. And here's Practical Move now coming after the top pair as Tripoli puts his head in front. Tripoli, Practical Move on the outside, though, traveling very sweetly. And here's Practical Move, kept well off the fence as he comes for the lead at the top of the stretch. Tripoli in between horses, battling gamely, and then it's New Grange and American Admiral, but with a furlong left to go, Practical Move is going to return in style. And it's Practical Move. This will be number 3 for Ramon Vasquez, and he just guided Practical Move around the racetrack. Very nice. Second to Tripoli, then American Admiral and New Grange. Willity, and they're off. A bad stumble out of the gate for Blue Oasis. It's a quick start for Mocha Grande, but now here's Sabres sprinting up, and Sabres opens up a couple of lengths on Oratium, and now in second. She is Romantic third. Then it's Mocha Grande fourth along the inside, followed by Persia between horses, Circle of Trust, those two in a little bit tight together, a 3-wide Willa T, and after that rough beginning, Blue Oasis at the back of the field. 8 lengths covers them, onto the backstretch they go, and it's Sabres leading the way by 2. Oratium in second, followed at the rail by Mocha Grande, a joint third, racing inside She Is Romantic. Then Circle of Trust, Persia between them, Willa T outside that pair. Blue Oasis continues at the back. It's Sabres passing the half-mile pole, holding the lead by 2 lengths over Oratium in second. Then Mocha Grande at the rail, Orange Sleeves in third. She Is Romantic is 4 lengths off the lead. Willa T, Persia in traffic between rivals, Circle of Trust at the rail. And at the back is Blue Oasis. They're coming to the quarter pole. It's Sabres, Oratium just ahead away now, second. 2 more, She Is Romantic on the outside. Mocha Grande is down at the rail. Then Willa T there at the top of the stretch. Sabres just in front. There's room now for Mocha Grande, one from the outside. Willa T is finishing stylishly. Also, She Is Romantic. She Is Romantic and Oratium head and head, joined by Willa T on the outside. She Is Romantic or Willa T. She Is Romantic and Willa T. That's too close to call. Very, very close between She Is Romantic and Willa T.
Today's outstanding 10-race card has 4 stake races. 3 of them are Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in races. 2 of those win-in-your-in races are for the 2-year-olds, 1 for the fillies and 1 for the colts and geldings. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Quigley, VIP Player Concierge. Delighted that you decided to join us on this tremendous Saturday afternoon of racing here at the Great Race Place. And I like to call those 2-year-old races races for rising stars, right? In other words, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, we'll know who's going to be on the Breeders' Cup Trail and who's not going to be on the Breeders' Cup Trail. But that's for the equines. As it relates to humans, my seminar guest today, he is undoubtedly a rising star. He's only been in the announcer's booth 10 years, and he recently was announced the new announcer at Oaklawn Park. His name, Matt Dinerman. Matt, welcome to the seminar. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, Tom.
It's great. Go ahead.
Great to be here. I mean, heck, what a gig.
It never gets old, does it?
Never gets old. Never gets old.
Let me be the first to formally congratulate you on your new assignment at Oaklawn Park. You obviously earned it. You didn't take it the easy way. You worked hard for it. You have a good outlook on life. And I think I speak for many that when I say that we're all so happy for you. And we know it's just another stepping stone as you climb that corporate ladder. Congratulations.
I appreciate that, Tom. And it's a dream come true. I mean, whenever you get something to do that's your dream, whether getting Emerald Downs, Golden Gate Fields, Oaklawn now, it's a dream come true. So
but you just started out talking into a microphone. You were sitting on the steps outside of Trevor Denman's office as the races were being run and just kind of expressed your thoughts into a tape recorder. That was 10 years ago, and you kind of shopped your tape around the country. And like you said, your first assignment was Emerald Downs, and I think a lot of people knew that you had a lot of ability, and we're very happy for your success.
I had a lot of support. I mean, part of it is you have to work hard and have the right attitude and do all those things right. And as my dad would always say, do the little things right. It's not about the big picture. It's about doing all these little things to make the big picture what it becomes. But I've had a lot of support along the way. I'm not from racing. I mean, my dad, he enjoys racing. He's a fan of horse racing. He was on a nonprofit board called Tranquility Farm, which is for retired racehorses. But I wasn't really born into the game. So I had to work really hard, work from the bottom, working for John Sadler, working in the press box and waking up early. And, I was shoveling manure from one spot to the other in the beginning. And here we are.
You're like a post office worker who on his days off, his or her days off, goes for a walk. You obviously are on a busman's holiday at Golden Gate. Fresno is currently the active track. I mean, up north, live racing resumes at Golden Gate on Saturday, October 21st. What brings you down to Southern California for yesterday, today, and tomorrow?
Well, first of all, I wanted to make sure to say not goodbye, but see you later to everybody. I'll be back. Don't worry.
What makes you think we're not going to come see you at Oaklawn Park?
I hope that's the case. We can go to the pizza places in the lake. I don't know if you drive a jet ski, Tom. We might have to put you on one of those. But I came down to say hello to everybody and to enjoy the weekend. I usually come here for a day and then bustle my way out of here. And I wanted to take a few days to just enjoy the weekend and then head down to San Diego on Sunday where my mom and dad are at. My dad will be here on Sunday and have a good little vacation, 9-10 days down south.
And when you expressed interest in the job, you spoke to the top management team here at First Racing, and you wanted to get their clearance to make sure that you could go ahead and pursue the Oaklawn Park job. So although times might be dire for Golden Gate, who knows what the future might hold, but the future for you is bright because that's basically a 6 to 7 month assignment. Right. And obviously it's one of the marquee signals anywhere in the country.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll be a free agent come May. And I know I can do something else after Oaklawn is done from December to May. So I'm excited about that. And what's great about it is you can do different things and you can work with different people. And who knows, maybe I'll be back here doing some work at Santa Anita. So Aiden Butler, Craig Fravel, David Duggan at Golden Gate. This has been a tremendous opportunity to work for First Racing, to be at Golden Gate Fields. And it's been a great experience and it's really helped me grow. I mean, it's a big reason why I'm at Oaklawn Park is getting an opportunity like this to work at a place like Golden Gate Fields. And I think I'll miss most of the people. We're all big family here. So that's what I'm going to miss the most, are the people that I'm used to seeing all the time.
You didn't just show up at Oaklawn Park and they said, here, Matt, here's the job. You actually had to go through an intense interview process, and there were many other qualified candidates along the way. If you had to kind of look in the rearview mirror, what do you think the reasons were why Oaklawn Park chose you for the job?
I think one is the longevity. Terry Wallace, who is the voice of Oaklawn Park, who everybody knows, he was there for many decades. And I think they really wanted somebody who could be there for a good chunk of time, commit to being there for a long time, that wants to be there and doesn't want to just rush off to the next thing. Because I think as humans, we're always looking, what's that next step? just a natural thing. But they wanted loyalty. They wanted someone who was loyal, and they wanted someone who was going to stick around for a while. Not to say other people would not if they chose another candidate. I think that was a big deal. And I really do believe that the interview process was a big help as well. I think we had really good rapport, discussing things and being on the same page of hospitality, that sort of thing. And, part of it is just getting to know and see, is it a fit? There are a lot of people and very qualified people who applied for that job as well, not just myself, obviously, and they would have done a great job if they were there. But it's all about being the right fit, I think, in this scenario, and I think I was the right fit.
You had to stay in the new hotel for the couple days that you were there, right on the clubhouse turn of Oaklawn Park Racetrack. What's that like? Many people haven't been there yet, but I know it's a great addition to their property.
It's a gorgeous place. The hotel, it's as they call it, a trackside view. So not every room is trackside view, but it's right there. You walk in, if you're standing on the first turn, if you turn behind you, the hotel is right there. I mean, you can sit in your room and you can actually, during the racing season, turn on the channel where Oaklawn is, and as they're coming around the turn, you can head on over to the window and watch them right under you coming by. It's unbelievable, and it's modern, and it's racing-centric. There are pictures of horses all over the place. Right next to the hotel is the casino. They have a spa. They've got a pool in the hotel. It's a very nice facility, and they spent, they spent over $100 million to really expand it, and I think they're getting their money back with it.
Golden Gate currently is running on a Saturday through Monday schedule. They decided to kind of switch over to Monday and eliminate Friday racing. How's that working out for you guys up north? Are you happy with the results? Are you maybe skeptical of the results? I really don't know. I'm just asking you the question.
Yeah, I think handle-wise, I think it's been flat, believe it or not. I think we've had some up days, we've had some down days, which sort of straighten it all out. But one thing I think we are excited about is the fact that on Mondays there isn't New York, there's not Kentucky, there's not, of course, Santa Anita, Southern California. So that gives us a chance to be in the spotlight. Essentially, we're on the West Coast, and a lot of these tracks, by the time we start, they're almost done. Parks, Horseshoe Indianapolis is with us the first half. Finger Lakes is done. So I think that gives us a chance for exposure, to show off our horsemen, to show off our product. And I think this fall, we're really going to try to make our Monday cards very good quality.
Matt Dinerman is my very special seminar guest today. Besides talking about his career, more importantly, for those of you watching, he's going to tell us who he likes on today's outstanding 10-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to our track announcer, the voice of Santa Anita, Frank Miramati, to get the early changes on today's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. The track is fast, the turf course is firm, and the rail on the turf at 0 feet. Here are the changes. In the first, we have the program scratch of number 3. We also scratch number 7, Conceal and Carry. Scratch 3 and 7 out of the first, which of course opens the early pick 5. No high 5 wagering in race 2. Scratch number 7, Awesome Rhythm. And scratch number 8, Storming Machine. 7 and 8 out of race 2. The early pick 4 starts there. The Grade 2 Chandelier is a Breeders' Cup win, and you're in for the Juvenile Fillies division. Scratch number 10, Next Right Thing. Race 3, scratch number 10. In the fourth, the Speakeasy Stakes, there are no changes. We do have a middle pick 4 today. Take note of a middle pick 4. Starting with race number 4. In the fifth, the traditional $1 pick 6 is back. It starts with the fifth and no changes. Race 6, scratch number 4 and Ready to Rumble. And scratch number 14, Nagano. Scratch 4 and 14. 13 draws in. The new rider will be Kyle Frey. Kyle Frey rides 13, Grogu. In the seventh, scratch 9, Bags Gold. Scratch 12, El Oro. 9 and 12 out of the seventh, which begins the late pick 4. Our morning line odds maker, John White, has issued a revised morning line for race 7. In the 8th, the Grade 2 Rodeo Drive Stakes. We do have a special Breeders' Cup pick 6 today, which we'll get back to because it's already well in progress by the 8th, but it does combine the races from Keeneland and Santa Anita Park with a low 15% takeout. And it comprises races for the win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup from both Santa Anita Park and Keeneland. We also have a $3 all-turf pick 3. That starts with race 6, the start of our late pick 5. We have no changes in the 8th race. The 9th is the Grade 1 American Pharaoh, a Breeders' Cup win and you're in for the juvenile division. There's a blinker note for number 5. And in the 10th race today, no changes. That concludes the all-turf pick 3. Here's the information on that Breeders' Cup Challenge pick 6. It begins at 1:12, so a little more than an hour away. It starts with Keeneland 7th, the Thoroughbred Club of America. And then it comes back here for the Chandelier, back to Keeneland for the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity, followed by the Coolmore Turf Mile. And we close it out at Santa Anita Park with the Rodeo Drive and the American Pharaoh. Great wagering and a unique opportunity to wager. It starts with Keeneland's race 7 at 4:12 Eastern, 1:12 here in California. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. We're 57 minutes away from the opener. Let's get back to Tom Quigley's seminar at Quigley's Corner. His special guest is Matt Dinerman, the track announcer at Golden Gate Fields and recently named as the announcer at Oaklawn Park.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Matt Dinerman. He's the current track announcer at Golden Gate Fields. He will be the new announcer at Oaklawn Park when they open their meet in early December. Matt, we're going to look at the 10 races, but before we do, part of your job responsibility at Golden Gate, and I'm sure at Oaklawn Park, will not only be to call the races, but also to analyze the races. So, of course, you have to put your handicapping hat on in order to accomplish that task. What type of handicapper are you? Are you old school? I see the racing form in front of you. Do you use Thorograph? Do you use Formulator? Do you use workout reports? Like, what type of handicapper are you?
Well, I definitely am a daily racing form guy. It's one of those things that once you learn, the bug hits you and you're stuck with it. We're creatures of habit here in this world. So that's what I use, the racing form. I do like looking at workout reports. And I think really the key there is trusting the source that you're reading, of course. But XBTV really has been a wonderful tool, and I would strongly encourage to use it to not only read other folks' workout reports, but be able to watch them yourself and see if you have a different opinion or the same opinion. So maybe to verify sources that may fit your level. And I use those two things primarily. I will use Formulator at times if I have the access to it. And I've also come to learn that BrizNet is a very good tool. I don't use it as often as some people, but if I have it in front of me, I will use it.
Well, let's put those disciplines to task here, Matt, and take a look at today's card. Kicking things off in race number 1, which begins the 50-cent early pick 5. This is for fillies and mares, maiden special weights, sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track. We've got a program scratch of the 3, Beautiful Bolt. Also, a more recent scratch of number 7, Conceal and Carry. That leaves us with a field of 7. The morning line favorite and the current betting choice coming off the layoff for trainer Bob Baffert is number 8, Riley G, who's 2-1 on the tote board. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Matt, we want to watch a workout for one of the first-time starters. That would be down on the rail for number 1, Report from the Richard Mandela Barn. This is a team drill on September 30th, courtesy of our friends of the aforementioned XPTV.com website. We can actually watch that workout, Matt. And you wanted to watch this work because Report's on the outside here, and he does it very, very easily. I should say she does it very, very easily.
She does. And speaking of XBTV television, our very own Jessica Pfeiffer aboard. Report. Austin Solis on the inside with Tribal. Now, note this before I say anything else. Tribal is in race 6 today. He's a little bit of a price horse, and he's by Kingman. He's all turf. So this horse is going to work like a turf horse, and you're going to see it when in the late stages. They usually go well, these turf horses, early, and then they start to struggle just a little bit. Report, on the other hand, going 113-1 here. Look at Jessica's hands. I mean, she's not even moving them, and this filly is going effortlessly. You can see she's a pretty big, lengthy filly. She's got some size to her, and she's going nice and easy. She's got some big strides to her, and I like her, and I love this work. Trainer Richard Mandella, he's not necessarily known to really crank him up 100% first out all the time, but he can definitely win with a first-time starter. And look at the other horse to the inside. Austin's getting to work on this horse, while Jessica on the outside with Report just going nice and easy. That was a stroll. I think there's a lot more left there for this filly out of the mare Rumor, who was, by the way, a graded stakes winning sprinter. A couple of 6 furlong drills, a 59 and change work. I think Report will be ready. I don't love the rail. That's the only concern I have with her. But Report is going to be my pick over number 4, Miss Monarch Bay. Second start off the layoff. She didn't break that good first start off the break, and she still rallied for third. I think second off the break for Team Michael McCarthy, who wins at strong numbers second off the break. I think she has a look. I am all for playing against Riley G. I know she went off favored first time out at a low price, ran poorly. She's been outworked on the workouts on XBTV. So I think Riley G, number 8, is a play against, and I will not use her in my early pick 5 ticket. I'm going to try to beat the favorite and use a few others.
A couple additional comments on Matt's top 2 selections. Number 4, Miss Monarch Bay, who he selects second. Take a look at the purchase price at auction. Almost $1 million for this daughter of Into Mischief. So certainly expectations are high. And note that last time out, she lost to Poetica. Poetica came back to win a first level allowance condition race opening weekend here at San Anita. So that race might prove to be live. And Matt's top pick, number 1, Report, he mentioned that the damn Rumor was a graded stakes winner. That's true. What's also true is she was trained by Richard Mandella. She won her debut by over 6 lengths. So certainly the precocity is there. She's thrown 4 foals. One of them won as a first-time starter at Saratoga in a maiden special weight. So although she draws the rail, which can be a difficult task for a first-time starter, I agree with Matt that I think number 1, Report, could be live in race number 1. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This time we're sprinting down the turf course, 6 furlongs of the distance. It's a starter optional claiming race. Today the rails are at 0 feet. Program scratch of the 7, Awesome Rhythm. Also take out number 8, Storming Machine. Leaves us with a field of 6. Take note, number 5, Tickle My Fancy, is a filly running against the boys, and drawn right inside of her is the morning line favorite, number 4, Castle Knock from the Peter Miller Barn, 2-1 according to John White. What's race 2 according to Matt Dinerman?
I think it's a good morning line. I think Casanock's the one to beat. I think he was very unlucky in defeat last time out. A little bit too far back, I thought, last time. This horse has plenty of early speed. He didn't break that great, so I don't think it was the rider's fault. But it says here, step slow, traffic, the 3 ace and the 16. It wasn't traffic watching the replay, a horse that was steadying and it was very apparent, but he was always sort of racing in tight quarters there and lost by 3/4 of a length. He did have to wait a little bit in mid-stretch and he lost a little bit of momentum. The thing is, Storming Machine's out of this race, number 8 is scratch. So that's one speed horse out of the equation. You've got runners in here that don't need the lead, but they've got tactical speed. So I see this as a race where the pace may not be super speedy, but it could get contentious. And I like Casanock's chances. You look at his past performances, he's run against tougher company. In for a starter allowance last time, I thought it was the right spot. I liked him that day on August 26th. He didn't have a good trip. I'm thinking today if he gets a better trip, he's going to be tough. So I'm going to pick him over number 2, Sanger, who, by the way, Tom, a sibling to Closing Remarks, who we're going to see on the turf in the Rodeo
She's won a few turf races in her career.
She has indeed. And this gelding here has turf pedigree all over the place. By the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint winner, Desert Coat. I think that was the first year they ran that race down the hill here. Out of an unusual heat mare, of course, the producer of Closing Remarks. Comes off a Calbred maiden win, facing open company today, but this runner has just continued to progress every single race. He's gotten better and better. So Sanger, I think this will be a formful race. I went 4-2 in here.
Matt, you mentioned the sire Desert Code won the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint here right at San Anita. Take note for those of you who are playing the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint this year, the distance of the turf sprint will be 5 furlongs. It'll be a quick race, 5 furlongs on the turf course here at San Anita the first weekend in November. Race number 3 is the first of 4 stakes races on today's card, and it's the first Breeders' Cup Win in Your Win race. It's for the juvenile filly division, and it's the Grade 2 Chandelier Stakes for 2-year-old fillies traveling 1 mile and a 16th. We've got a field of 9 after the scratch of number 10, Next Right Thing. The morning line favorite, number 8, Laurent from the Peter Urton Barn, 5-2. Incredibly impressive on debut sprinting. Then the second time out, not so much, but blinkers go on today. Edwin Maldonado back in the saddle. What say you about race 3?
This is a good betting race, I think. I think there are many ways to go. I think people are going to gravitate towards Bob Baffert here with Dua. I did not make her the top pick. I know they've always thought this filly wants to go 2 turns. She's a router. She looked like it first time out. And then second time out, she just regressed. And I'm going to give her a pass that day because she was coming back in 3 weeks. She ran really hard and had to work every step of the way first out. And I like that Bob Baffert didn't put her back in the debutante. He was a little bit more patient after she bounced after that first race. So I think she's going to run a lot better today. That said, I am going to go with a maiden in here, 5-1 on the morning line, adding the blinkers, Gate to Paradise, who I would say she's probably the, quote, wise guy horse, unquote, in this race. And the fact of the matter is I think this filly is really going to want 2 turns. I thought it was very interesting that this $950,000 sale purchase, second time out, John Sheriff's put her in the grade 1. He's a very patient trainer. So the fact he's putting her in the debutante last time out indicates that he must think something of her. And I thought she ran a very respectable race behind the superstar in Tamara, who probably will be favored in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies. I think Gate to Paradise is going to thrive going 2 turns, and I think she's going to show it today. So she is going to be the pick over number 7, Dua. I can understand people using Laurent on tickets. Obviously, her debut was great. Her debutante was very solid. She's a filly in the mornings that it looks like she's still learning. Sometimes she's not really focused. She waits for company. I think the 2 turns will be fine. I think if she's 5-2, for example, like her morning line, I don't think she's a great bet in terms of value. And I would maybe even consider trying to beat her. I think she's beatable. I think she'll get play. I feel Dua is probably going to go off favored with the Bob Baffert angle, but we'll see. I still think Gate to Paradise will be a decent price. So we'll take a shot with her. Number 6 in race 3 is the top pick.
Matt's top selection, number 6, Gate to Paradise, also adds blinkers for today's performance. Race number 4 begins a new wager here on a 10-race card at Santa Anita. We're now offering a 50-cent middle pick 4 on any 10-race card. So a 50-cent middle pick 4 now being offered starting in race number 4. And we've got another stakes race in number 4. It's for 2-year-olds sprinting 5 furlongs in the turf course. It's the Speakeasy Stakes, $100,000 guaranteed. 2 fillies in the race competing against the boys. Number 6, Mysticism, and number 10, April Vintage. The morning line favorite, number 2, Slider, who is going to be first time on the turf course for trainer John Sadler. We want to take a look at a workout for one of the runners you like in the field, Matt. It's number 1, Dark Vintage from the Peter Urton Barn. This was a team drill back on September 30th, and Dark Vintage is on the inside, kind of a gray-looking type of filly, as you can see. I should say colt. What'd you like about Dark Vintage's workout here on September 30th?
What I loved about this work is that there was more in the tank. He was willing and he wanted to do more. And we talked about workout reports earlier in the show. If you want to go through the Matt Dinerman workout reports, what I would write here is instead of a handily, I would give this horse a big B, which is breezing. Look at that exercise rider's hands. He's holding them. This horse is willing. He wants to do more. He's bred all over for the turf, and he's working over the dirt brilliantly here. I still made him the second pick, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I love this work. First start for the Peter Urton Barn today was in Wesley Ward's barn. I think he is sitting on a very big race today. He is still the second pick, though, however. Love the work. This was based on the workout reports, I would give him an A-. You don't see A's very much. I would give that particular half-mile drill an A- work. I still went with Slider. I know he's going to be favored. There's not a lot of value there. I do feel he's probably a touch, a point or two, probably faster than everybody else as long as he takes the turf. He's got tactical speed. His first 2 career races were very, very good. He's a very aerodynamic horse. He's pretty low to the ground. He's got a lovely way of going, the son of Jimmy Creed. I don't think turf will be the problem. I feel this horse is a very athletic sprinter. I don't think he wants any part of 2 turns, at least right now. And I think that maybe possibly if Dark Vintage, number 1, with that work in mind from the rail, I think he's going to be showing more speed than he did last time out. I think he's going to show the speed that we saw first out when he went to the lead. And I think Slider can basically be close to him and run by him when he needs to. But I think the 2 inside runners have a very good shot to run 1-2 the whole way around. And maybe Tranche, number 4, could be in there. I'm going to use the 2 inside runners here. I will say, even though I feel this race might be a little bit formful, I love what the Breeders' Cup did years ago, making these 2-year-old turf races, and I love the juvenile turf sprint. And I love the Speakeasy Stakes because it's a fun race, and it's a fun race to see these younger horses that are precocious and fast, getting to see them shine. So this is one of my most exciting races for me today to watch.
Listening to Matt's enthusiasm for not only this race, but for racing in general, it's easy to see why he's done so well in his brief tenure as a racetrack announcer. As I mentioned in the opening, it's a pleasure to have him on board. And speaking of success, take a look at the jockey-trainer combination on number 1, Dark Vintage, in race 4. Matt's second selection when Juan Hernandez and Peter Ayrton him up. Basically, they win at almost a 60% win clip. They certainly mean business today in race number 4. Race number 5 begins the well-received $1 pick 6. Why do I say that? Because we've had 4 days of racing up to this point. Compared to the first 4 days last year when we had the 20-cent rainbow pick 6, the pool sizes have exceeded what we handled last year for all 4 days up to this point. And I'll call my shot right now. I think the pick 6 is going to carry over to tomorrow. I think it's an extremely difficult sequence, a lot of different ways you can go here, and it's going to be tough to really narrow down and single any particular horse in this sequence. So I think it's going to pay well, and personally, I think it's actually going to carry. But we kick things off here, starting in race number 5, sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track for maiden special weight Calbred 2-year-olds, a full field of 9, and the morning line favorite is on the outside, number 9, Stay on the Fences, 2-1 on the morning line. This is a real difficult race. I could see a lot of players hitting the L button here, Matt. What did you decide to do?
I picked Red on Sunday, number 6. I could see people using plenty of horses in this race, Tom. There's no real true favorite here, even with the morning line favorite. And you see that from John White's morning line, 3-1 on the morning line. And that makes sense to me. I think this is going to be a pretty wide open betting board and a good way to kick off the pick 6. I still went with Red on Sunday. I want to note this before anything else. This horse was purchased for $10,000. I love this angle with maidens. When you see a horse that's purchased for a low price and they're in a maiden special weight, they're not in for a tag. I mean, Peter Miller could have run this horse for $50, but he's not. He's running this horse in a maiden special weight first time out. So, you know, right away they think something. They see something in the mornings that they want to put this horse in, especially with big connections like this. They've got a lot of horses. They can put their horses in aggressive spots. And he ran a very good race first out. A little wide turning for home. I thought he got a good trip. And he had to work a little bit to get up in the second. He got a little bit tired on the gallop out, but it was his first race. I give him a pass, and the winner ran a very good race, Mischief's Causeway, who looks like a pretty nice Calbred from the Carla Gaines barn. I feel Red on Sunday for Peter Miller, who wins at 20% with maiden second-time starter. I watched the race, and at the end of it, he outfinished the 3 Pete's Old Fashioned for second. I thought you saw a little bit of gameness there. Like I said, he was a little bit tired on the gallop out. It was his first race. And I think second out, he got a lot out of that race, hopefully, and he's going to be even more ready to run his very best and get the diploma. So Red on Sunday for me over Magic Spoon, number 1. It's got some fast works on the page, the last couple for trainer Jose Valdez. The Stam was a stakes place router. 3 of 4 winning siblings, though, were sprinters, and this colt is by Good Magic, who's off to a good start. Not a lot of Calbred Good Magics out there, but we find one here. Again, like Report, I don't love the rail, especially with a first-time starter, but 6-1 on the morning line, worth a shot.
Race number 6, we're traveling 1 mile on the turf course for maiden special weight 2-year-olds. 2 scratches, Scratch the 4 and Ready to Rumble, as well as number 14. That means number 13 draws in, and take note, the new jockey will be Kyle Frey. Lord Bullingdon is the 3-1 morning line favorite, and I should say before we get your selection, Matt, race 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 5, and it also begins the new wager, the $3 all turf pick 3. That wager is offered every day here at Santa Anita on the final 3 turf races on the card. Today's final 3 turf races are races 6, 8, and 10. It always pays well because the minimum is a $3 wager. This is another competitive race that I alluded to. Who'd you like and why?
Papa Dinerman's a big turf guy. He will be playing the pick 3, all turf. Now, race number 6, started the late pick 5 as well. Lord Bullingdon, the second pick for me, but he's the horse to beat for Michael McCarthy. Juan Hernandez ran second last time out in the Del Mar Juvenile Turf. Got a lovely trip there. It says here slight hop at the start and was keen, and he had to steady at the quarter pole. I still think he was second best regardless. But he got an okay trip, even though the comment line doesn't necessarily indicate that. I thought he ran fine. I thought he got a good enough trip to run well and was just second best. He's facing maidens here. Second time routing, I like the angle. But I see a horse at a better price, Tom. And that's number 3, Stay Hot, originally by Summer Front out of a Smart Strike mare. So there's a lot of turf pedigree there and a lot of route pedigree. First career race, this horse ran very well, ran third behind Mission Beats, a Bob Baffert trainee, and then he regressed in lifetime start number 2. And now this Ridgeling's getting to 2 turns on the turf, attracts Antonio Fursu back aboard. By the way, I saw him yesterday after the races. Nice guy, very, very good rider, and he can ride on any surface, like Umberto Rispoli, Pratt. Don't kid yourself. These guys come from overseas. They know turf, but they can ride very well on dirt. When you've got good riders, they can ride on any surface. And Antonio's a very good rider, and I think he really fits well here. But this horse here, I think he's going to love 2 turns on the turf. He's actually a half sibling to Prerequisite, who was a grade 2 winner and grade 1 placed routing on the turf. And that's the only sibling that's won out of this mare. So a lot of turf pedigree. I don't know if we'll get 8-1, but I think we'll be somewhere in the 5, 6, 8-1 range and stay hot. Hopefully we can be hot here in race 6. He's the pick over the 8, Lord Bullington.
Race number 7 begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track. This race is for $20,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. Big scratch. Scratch the original morning line favorite number 9. Bags Gold is out of the race, as well as the program scratch of the 12. Leaves us with a field of 10. Now the morning line favorite currently is number 6, Book Smart from the Timyak Team Barn. Very impressive in victory last time out. But again, a lukewarm morning line favorite, kind of indicating that this is a wide open race. How'd you see race 7, Matt?
It was. This is a big scratch, Bags Gold, because not only do you have a main contender who's out of here, you've also got a horse who is a speed horse. So there's one speed horse out of the equation. I thought the pace was going to be very fast, and I landed on Elevado. Nonetheless, Book Smart, Saquon, he's going to be showing speed today in this race. You've got a couple of speed horses here. And I think Elevado is going to get a good trip, number 7. First off, a layoff for trainer Andy Mathis last time out. Off a 5.5-month break. Obviously, Andy up north, he's sensational off of layoffs, and he showed it in the last race. Again, he was very fit at 10-1. I remember watching this horse in the post-break and saying, I'm surprised he's 10-1. He faced a lot tougher. He was taking a big drop in class. He's had his share of issues, and they've had to be patient with him. But in for 16, non-2, he got it done. Now he's in for non-3, the next logical spot. I think he's going to get the right trip here. I mean, this horse here has tactical speed. He's not going to be too far off of it. I think he'll be 3-4 behind, so he's not going to have too much to do, even if the pace maybe isn't quite as fast as if Bags Gold was in here. And second start off the break, first off the claim for Mark Klatt, who's a good trainer. He's good with one-turn dirt horses, and he's 18% first off the claim. I do want to mention number 10, Egomania. I thought this horse was an interesting play, a big price. Comes off a head win last time out, going a mile at Los Alamitos. My favorite angle in the game, cutting back from a route to a sprint. Horses are really fit. This horse, if you look at a layoff from December to September, when you see December 2022 and on, before that, this horse has run against good horses. He's put up good numbers to be competitive in this race. So third start in the form cycle here. I think this horse cutting back in distance has a real right to run big at 12-1 on the morning line. Egomania, he's the second pick.
Race number 8 is our second Breeders' Cup winning urine race. This race is for the filly and mare turf division. And race 8 is the grade 2 Rodeo Drive Stakes. We're going 1.25 miles on the turf course. We've got an excellent field of 8, and the Eastern Invader, number 6, Didia, is the 9-5 morning line favorite. However, number 2, Anisette, has done nothing wrong since she shipped over to the United States, but she's been running against her own age group. She's a 3-year-old, now tackling older. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Matt, we want to watch the replay from the far turn to the wire of Anisette's last victory in the grade 1 Del Mar Oaks back on August 19th. Let's listen to Trevor Denman describe Anisette storming home under the silks of Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners.
Just looking for somewhere to go. And let's see, Anisette has started picking off the back markers. Anisette making headway now, only 5 off the leaders. They come to the top of the lane. Ruby now is the leader. Anisette goes for a run at the rail, and it's a dream run. And Anisette bursts through on the inside, takes the lead and kicks for home. And it's going to be Anisette, perfectly ridden by Umberto Rispoli, to win.
Matt, not only was Anisette brilliant in victory, but as we continue to watch the conclusion of the race, we'll pick up the gallop out for Anisette. And she's widening, actually. Look at her. She's running out there like she thinks this is a 2-turn race. Very impressive performance from a lightly raced 3-year-old filly.
Very impressive. Big kick. Look at this. I mean, her ears are up. She wants to do more. Look at that. I mean, she's not even tired. She's not breaking a sweat out there. So really the key here watching this replay is not only explaining her turn of foot to the viewers, and the viewers can see that for themselves, but also understanding this filly's going to have absolutely no problem going the 1.25 mile distance today. She's going to be just fine with more distance. She'll be able to run all day. This is a tough spot. The pace scenario will be different for her. A lot of speed in that last race, the Del Mar Oaks. Here, not as much. And Didia, number 6, a more experienced seasoned runner, an older filly. Again, Anisette is facing older company today. She's going to have to run by a nice filly, or mare, I should say, like that. I think it's a 2-horse race. I love closing remarks. I think she's a really cool mare. I just think she's maybe a notch or 2 below a runner like Didia. I picked Anisette. I think Anisette is really getting better with every race. Leonard Powell has done a great job with her, and she's going to be the pick for me, Anisette. from off the speed. I think she's ready to face this caliber. There was more in the tank in that last race. The question is simply, is she going to be able to close into a slow pace? It's not going to be easy for her, but she's going to be the better price. I wasn't really enthralled with anybody else. So I think it's either 2 Anisette or 6 Didia, and Anisette for me, a little bit of a better price. I think she's a really nice filly. And even if she doesn't win this, I'm excited to see her as a 4-year-old next year too, because maybe the following year as a 4-year-old she will, because she's a very talented filly.
Race number 9 is the third and final Breeders' Cup winning your in race. This race is a qualifier for the juvenile division. That means it's the Grade 1 American Pharoah Stakes for 2-year-olds, going a mile and a 16th on the main track, a field of 8. The Bob Baffert $2 million purchase. Number 2, Muth, is the even money favorite. 2-time sprinting, now first time going 2 turns. We know he's got a lot of speed. The question is, can he stick around come the finish line at the end, or I should say at the conclusion of a mile and a 16th distance? What say you?
The Dam won sprinting. This is her first foal by Good Magic. Of course, he was precocious, and he was a 2-turn horse. So I tried to beat Muth. I did everything I could to look at every other horse and say, can I beat Muth? I don't know if I can beat Muth. I think he's just a little bit faster than these horses. And I've always said, and again, you can look and say he's not a good bet. And I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you on that, because he's going to be odds on. Even if this horse may not be a true stayer, if maybe he'll be better at 6.5, 7, even 6. Sometimes these horses with class in these 2-year-old races, they get the distance because they have the class. I think he's a faster horse than any of these. I don't think Wind Me Up number 4 is going to be anywhere close to him, the other Bob Baffert horse. People may call me crazy. I think he's going to clear off in the lead, and from there it's going to be a matter of if he's going to be able to be caught or not. I just don't see this horse stopping if he can get to the front. I think he's a faster horse. I think he's a better horse. If there was another horse in here that had some better numbers, maybe really wanted to go the distance, I'd pick somebody else. But I think Muth's going to be very tough. And I watched his last work, watching on XBTV. He looked fantastic. And that indicated to me, that workout, that he is going to run well today. And if Bob Baffert's putting him in a 2-turn race, he must feel that this horse can go 2 turns. Wind Me Up, the other Baffert entrant, he worked fantastic as well on XBTV with Prince of Monaco, who beat Muth. And I think Wind Me Up's going to run well as well, and I think he's going to love 2 turns. I didn't even think he wanted to sprint last time, and he's going to like this 2 turns. So I think Bob Baffert's got this race covered.
An interesting long shot for those of you who maybe are looking for something in the American Pharoah would be number 7, Indispensable. The Connections paid $825,000. He only has 1 career sprint, but not only did they spend $825,000, they also decided to spend another $6,000 to supplement to this race. So I'm not saying he's going to win. The Dam hasn't actually been a very good producer, just 1 win from 17 starts from her foals. But nevertheless, they paid a lot of money for this colt. It's John Sadler, your former boss, going to be a big price. Maybe he can be part of the exacta or the trifecta. Close out a tremendous 10-race card in race number 10 for fillies and mares, sprinting 6 furlongs on the flat turf course. We've got a full field of 11. How'd you like to be alive in the pick 6 and have to tackle this monster? And the morning line favorite from the aforementioned John Sadler barn, again lukewarm at 7-2, is number 8, Secrets Told. Kyle Frey in the saddle. If we're going to hit 6, we need all 6. Who's it going to be in the nightcap, Matt?
We are looking for a price. This is the race. It's a get-out race, but it's a good race, and it's a competitive race. I went with Haley Levade, or Levad, number 1, drawing the rail. Look at her form. Every race that she runs a flat 6 furlongs on firm turf, she runs very well. She's got stalking ability. Another one that I like that draws the rail in a sprint. I don't love that. But if you look at every single race she's run, she has run very effectively, hitting the board and right there at the wire in a race like this. She's 10-1 on the morning line for Gary Studi, and she could go off at that. Comes off 2 in the money, finishes at this level. Haley Levade, my pick. Over number 4, Kiss by Fire. Actually, for a turf sprint, there's not a ton of speed in here. She's going to clear off after a nice maiden win. So I'm going to use numbers 1 and 4 and Haley Levade. Big price, hopefully. She's the long shot in the last.
Matt, your excitement is contagious. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Again, nothing but good fortune and success down in Arkansas at Oaklawn Park when you begin your new gig. And certainly make sure you remember your friends here in Southern California and come back and see us sometime. Thanks again for your insight on today's card.
Thank you for the hospitality. Thanks for having me. I always love Santa Anita Park. Happy to be here.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Next voice you'll hear be track announcer Frank Miramati updating us with any late scratches. Have fun, everybody. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we direct your attention to the flagpole in the infield, as well as the winner's circle, as we welcome Yo-Yo Chan, who will perform the Star-Spangled Banner. Yo-Yo Chan's journey has been filled with creativity and a deep love of music and dance. As a 17-year-old student, Yo-Yo has shown exceptional dedication